What's up, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Dark Knight TV. This is a special edition one where I'm going to address a couple of my viewers here with their comments. First set of comments is from Nelson from Brooklyn, and he mentions in the comment, and he says, and this is very good, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to say this. It says right here in the comment, as soon as I bring it up here, it's about Giant Bernard, aka, Lord Tensai, voicing his opinion about Lord Tensai and what he thinks about it. And I'm gonna tell you what he thinks. And he says right here, when he was in the WWE as Prince Albert, he didn't show me anything so far. They should let him go, not go from WWE, but let him go do what he does best, kick ass. It's sad because I know firsthand what they can do with him, and they're making it a waste of space. And I couldn't agree more. Personally, I feel like this. A guy like Matt Bloom, who just recently signed with the company for 2 weeks now, back doing a great thing, but the only problem is I don't like the gimmick. If you're going to book the guy to be Johnny Ace's badass bodyguard for him and Otunga, here's what you do. First, do not have him look like the Great Muta. Do not have him look like the Great Muta paying homage to Hakushi. Okay? Do not have him coming up spitting mist and all this other stuff. Book him as the gaijin wrestler who went over to Japan to take names and whoop ass and win championships. That's how you book the guy. When you do that, he becomes serious, he becomes relevant, and the fans understand who he is, and they can identify with him. And they can be like, oh, okay, that is Albert, that is Matt Bloom. Let him talk. Let him have the little Japanese guy behind him. But let him talk. This is the same guy who went on a frenzy to tear up and berate Tokyo Sports for the last 30 years because they've been snubbed for Tag Team of the Year 3 years in a row for Japan Wrestling. Now, Tokyo Sports is a big publication, and if you don't believe me, just tap into YouTube and look at the videos, and you'll see how and why I think that the WWE should book Giant Bernard, Matt Bloom, as that. Let him be himself instead of being this white guy impersonating the Japanese wrestler. My God. I mean, the guy simultaneously held the World Tag Team Championships of Noah and New Japan Pro Wrestling at the same time for an entire year with Carl Anderson. Imagine that. WWE, wake up. Use the fact that this guy has gained this experience, and then you leave him as Matt Bloom, then this Lord Tensai Bull, and let him do what he do best. Next, Scott Steiner. Now, I'm going to go in on this one. Scott Steiner and Hogan have been going back and forth on Twitter. And everyone knows, or anyone who's smart knows that, it's been pretty ugly if you've been following what's been going on. Steiner's been going in on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's been backpedaling against Scott Steiner. I wonder why. Oh yeah, that's because Scott Steiner is serious. He is a few screws short, and he would approach Hogan and kick his door in and let him know what time it is. Read all the tweets that he said about Hogan, his family, his daughter, his wife, and berating him about the sex tape and this and the third, and just him being a whore because he's trying to make money, not only for TNA, but for himself, but embarrassing himself at the same time. Now, I might not have voiced my opinion about Scott Steiner, but I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not a big Scott Steiner fan. Personally, wrestling-wise, he's a great wrestler. He was a great wrestler. I was just never a fan of his. And 1996 was the year that really stands out for me to say why I think Scott Steiner is not one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. It's because Scott Steiner, although a graduate from the University of Michigan, he is no Rhodes Scholar. The guy couldn't tell you the difference between Manhattan and Hell's Kitchen. He couldn't tell you the difference between Harlem and Manhattan, knowing that those places are in the same borough of New York City. And they are a part of the same little sections of the island of Manhattan. But that's me telling you, Scott, that's where it is. So you should have thought about that when you cut that promo at the Paramount Theater against Harlem Heat. That's why your ass got booed out the building that day. And that's the reason why I can say that I'm not a big fan of yours, because you insulted Harlem. You know, but that's besides the point. Either way, Hogan can get on Twitter, TweetVid, and all these video spots and all these other places, and go ham on the Ultimate Warrior and talk about how the Warrior is an idiot, the Warrior is this, the Warrior never cared about wrestling, the Warrior only just wanted the payday, the Warrior this, the Warrior that, and that the Warrior is not good, and that the Warrior will never be in the Hall of Fame. Well, I got news for you. Say what you wish about the Warrior, like a couple of people said on their blogs, but the Warriors got back at you and really took you to school. But knowing full well you won't say shit to Scott Steiner. Oh, pardon. You wouldn't say squat like that about Scott Steiner, because Scott Steiner is in the same part of the country as you are, in Florida, and you're just going back at it. Now, the brilliant thing about this is that while Steiner's going in on you, he's also going in on the rest of the brain trust at TNA Wrestling. You know, he's talking about how you, Hogan, Bischoff, and Bruce Pritchard are basically adding more weight to the other side of the ship and causing for it to sink down to the bottom of the water. And what that does is that it's going to destroy the hopes and aspirations of people looking for work to wrestle in the company to get exposure if they couldn't get a job in the WWE. Because WWE is kind of full right now. But there you go. You go and fire this guy. You fire Scott Steiner, who's wrestling in your sister company, the TNA's Ring Ka King in India, and it is the number one promotion in India, the number 4 promotion in the Eastern Hemisphere. And they're drawing ratings. They're doing better ratings than you guys. They're doing better buy rates than you guys. And if you don't believe that, check the viewership. And one of the main reasons that this is taking place, it's because of Scott Steiner. And Steiner's helping guys out over there. That's the idea of pro wrestling, giving back to the business. They're developing Ring Ka King so that India can have a wrestling promotion that can have legs to stand on its own, and it can flourish to become its own company. See, that's what's right with wrestling. You do it like that, everything is fine. But that's just my opinion. So, Scott Steiner's going in on Hogan. That's been really interesting. Before I sign out, I also want to touch the Brock Lesnar-John Cena situation. Now, on my report, I did say that John Cena was doing some pretty decent catch wrestling. Yeah, he was doing some catch wrestling. But the thing is, it's about developing his repertoire. Brock Lesnar, like I said, a money man. He's going to make money. The both guys are going to make some money. They're going to draw a lot of revenue, and it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, I can be on the one to say that the matchup that's going to take place is going to be bananas. I know so. I feel so. In my bones, I can feel it. And it's going to be really interesting. So, folks, if you got any comments, anything that you want to add to the table, feel free to do so. Leave it on this here YouTube page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook. Well, like me on Facebook. Damn, I can never get that thing right. And also, like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Do that. Leave your comments here. Get back at me. And let me know your opinion on anything pro wrestling related. Let me know what you think. Hell, man. Matter of fact, I'll even do one even better for everyone here on the East Coast. get at me and talk to me about the indie scene, because that's something that I feel that needs to be exposed. That's independent wrestling. And also, we can even talk about various other things too, relating to wrestling on an underground level. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, just get at me. Once again, like me on Facebook, that's Mark A. Morel. Follow me on Twitter, aka XM Nightbuster. You can add me there, follow me there, whatever. Leave your comments and whatever questions that you have or any other inquiries, please do so. Nelson, I hope that this will answer your question, because I'm glad it answered the question for me. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm out of here, and it's about time for me to go and take care of some other business at other ventures at this time of the game. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mark Knight, and I'm saying peace out, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Holla at your boy.